Angry guy here, and men are withdrawing from society, and women are suffering because of it. Men are withdrawing from society, and women are suffering because of it. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, please help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Now let's begin. A lot of these women are literally furious that they cannot find a man. They're having trouble surviving in Western society. Inflation is not going anywhere. It is literally destroying the lives of everyone, but especially women, because women cannot live within their means. Most men are more than happy driving an old car and living within their means. A lot of dudes are millionaires right now. I've got some millionaires on my channel, and these dudes are driving cars from 30, 40 years ago, sometimes more than that. You know, they have their house is paid off. They're single. They have no interest in getting married. And when these men pass away, they're going to pass away with lots and lots of money. And modern women seem to think that they're going to get that, but in reality, the government is going to take that, and they're going to enjoy that. But and give women women are only going to get bits and scraps, through public assistance and UBI, which is, just enough to survive and not enough to thrive. And with this inflation, it won't even be enough to survive. I mean, it's going to be so rough. It's getting so rough right now because so many people are living off credit. But after, credit starts to dry up for a lot of people, it's going to be so rough that, you're going to look back during the days of forced servitude back before, it was outlawed in the US, and people are going to say, wow, those people who lived under those situations, they were eating better than people now. If you look at this, guys, it's this article. It says, Ikea says it's going to cut prices this year, and the company's comments on deflation should be setting competitors on edge. However, we have to be very, very careful with this, because a lot of people think that this is going to result in things like, food prices coming down. But it absolutely is not. What people, what young people, especially women, are looking for right now is deflation. They think that we're going to see deflation, but deflation isn't coming. Food prices are not going back down. They're never going to go back down. Okay. And yet, they're being led to believe that, oh, things are going to get better. No. They may slow down inflation to like 4% growth every year, but that's about it. It's going to continue rising, and it's going to be so bad that people will no longer be able to pay their rent. They're not going to be able to buy food. They're not going to be able to really afford anything, except for men, because men don't need much to survive. So given that consumers are getting squeezed financially, this is not a year for us to optimize profit, said Broden. This is a year to try to navigate on a thinner profit, but to make sure that we support people. Guys, think shrinkflation. So now you're like IKEA. So basically, instead of, they're going to try to pass off a single bed as a queen size, and they're saying, hey, it's a queen. This is a queen. And you're like, bro, this is firmly a single. This is a single, okay? Bro, it's a queen. All right, it's a queen. If it's two people, nothing has changed. It's like McDonald's shrinking down, their food and saying that it's the same exact thing that you were getting 40 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. It's absolutely the same. These companies need to be taken to court, but unfortunately, they're able to get away with this. But McDonald's has always been crap food. So what do we expect as people? It's always been crap food. The reason why we ate it is because it was cheap, but it's absolutely disgusting and disgraceful right now, and I think but the thing is that's what most women want to eat. They want to eat Chick-fil-A every day. I cannot eat Chick-fil-A every day. I'll tell you that right now. I cannot eat Chick-fil-A every day. It would drive me absolutely insane.
My rent was $1,700 a month for a 1-bedroom. And then I got a notice that it was going up to $2,200. So I said, peace, see ya, I'm not doing this. And then I get a call that's like, oh, was that price the problem? Like, we can fix that. And I'm like, were you playing chicken with my rent? Why would you? Peace, done.
Yeah, guys. I mean, this is just how the reality is. These people are, we're experiencing greedflation. Everyone's looking to take advantage of everyone else right now. The companies, the renters, the restaurants. It's literally about sucking as much money out of people as they can. Do you remember the saying, you will owe nothing and be happy? There's a reset coming. Guys, nothing lasts forever. And if you notice, like, just like from, back in 1918, something happened, and almost 100 years to the dot in 2020 something happened very similar. And history repeats itself. The Great Depression happened in 1929, so don't be surprised if something happens in a number of years. Don't forget, we're literally just 6 years away from 2030 at this point. I'll be 46 if I'm still around. So that's kind of like haha to be like 46. I'll still be pretty relatively young. 46. Like it's crazy. Like, I'm in my 40s now, and I realize, thank God, I really still have some time on my hands. 46 years old, I'm still pretty young. And it's pretty interesting. Like, it's hilarious. Even like 53 is like, it's like 53. Yeah, I mean, because I still have another 20 years. It's so funny. Like, when you're a kid, you think, oh my gosh, when I'm 30, I'm so old. It's the end of the road for me. And then you're like 40. You're like, thank God, I'd never go back to those 30s. I'd never go back to the 20s. 30s. I'm happy in my 40s. There's a lot of guys probably in their 50s who are like, they wouldn't even go back to their 40s. Like, they are comfortably happy in their 50s and even their 60s. Because as you get older, you become more content and you become more confident, for at least for a lot of guys, especially when you stop chasing women and stop chasing after meaningless and foolish things that will never actually make you happy, like relationships. A relationship cannot make you happy. Money cannot buy happiness, but it can facilitate happiness. A lot of people don't even realize it. A lot of people say, well, money is not going to fix my problems. Yeah, but have you ever had a substantial amount of money to the point where you've never had to worry about it? A lot of people have never experienced that. Even myself, I never truly comprehended the freedom that money could actually bring until I had a substantial amount of it. And a lot of people don't know what it is to truly have economic freedom. When you have so much money in the bank and you're living within your means, that you can buy what you need, and you don't have to worry about things. You don't have to worry about how am I going to survive, and you can focus on the things that you choose to focus on. And having a few good male friends is so amazing. Guys, I'm telling you, when you have a few good male friends that have money also, that's why birds of a feather flock together. So you hang around guys who have their own income, so you're not going to have to worry about people trying to bum off you. You can find real substantial happiness that way. I'm telling you, you really, really can. And like I keep telling you, stay away from the church, because the church is furious about this. The church is absolutely furious that men are not working anymore. Because if men are not working, then that means that they're not paying tithe to the church. They don't have that kind of money. So they're pissed off. They're pissed off. And you have to remember that women and the church, they are accomplices in extracting wealth and resources from men. So if men are not getting paid, the church is not getting paid. And if men are not getting paid, then women are not getting paid. So they're going to be extremely furious. All right. They're extremely furious. They're out here trying to say that it's unbiblical. Trying to act like you will lose your salvation into the kingdom of heaven if you do not work. There's simps in my comments trying to say the same thing. Don't listen to these simps. I'm blocking them left and right. You are not built here to be used by the state. A woman and children are not a child. No one is really entitled to your utility. I'm going to be really honest about that. While it's your responsibility to take care of your children, a woman is not your responsibility. Okay? How can she be your responsibility if you do not have authority over her? So when these simps are literally saying that, a man who does not work and provide for a woman and his children is worse than a non-believer. This is absolute nonsense, because you're basically discussing a time frame. First off, that's absolute nonsense, because you cannot lose your salvation. You can only reject it, and your salvation is not tied to your love of man or how kind you are to your brother or your sister. It is tied solely to your belief and your faith in Jesus Christ and your relationship with God. That is something that God has given us. It cannot be taken away from us, because God has made it so. It is only something that we can reject. And to say that you are rejecting it if you don't obey the Bible, and you don't provide for your wife, and you don't try to avoid sin at all costs. It's absolutely nonsense, because God views sin as equal. So the biggest sin and the largest sin, he views deleting someone as well as stepping on a cockroach is essentially the same thing. You know, it's no different to him. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that he doesn't see sin. It's just that he basically doesn't hold it against you. He doesn't hold anything against you. And that's why God is so wonderful. And as men, we should be focused on God, not on women, because, you know, these women, they think that they're goddesses. They're out here with the golden V, worshiping the golden V. And we know exactly what happened with the golden calf. You know, God destroyed that. He wasn't playing around. He wasn't messing around with that. And, you know, women they've called destruction upon themselves from the Father within heaven. And, you know, they think that they're untouchable, but it doesn't work like that. You know, they're really on some flimsy ground right now. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, please help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers and our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Men are withdrawing from society and women are suffering because of it. I want to know your thoughts on this. So let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.